I take a lot of how I'm playing Henry. I take a lot of it from the book. In that book, he's actually not a scientist. He's more of a humanist. He's kind of a. It doesn't specifically say exactly what he is, but his dad was a very successful merchant. So his dad was raising him to be a successful merchant, and so Henry Clerval is very much about people, and so I really grabbed onto that. So as a scientist that he is a philosopher. That's the biggest difference between Henry and Victor. Victor is logical, cold even.
He is very arrogant. He's a super arrogant person because he's so smart, because he is top of his class and, with honors and all that stuff that he got from school. And, he's smarter than everybody else he knows. His father, especially to him, even more so, he sees himself more intelligent than everybody. Whether or not it is true, he does feel smarter than them because what he's doing, nobody understands. And so that in and of itself is what he feels like makes him smarter and more intelligent and higher in the evolutionary chain almost, because he's creating life. He's doing something even bigger than anybody else has done.
Henry is the other side of that. Henry, one of my favorite lines from the play is, "What about the soul?" He wants to help his friend. His friend is destroying his life, and he wants to save him from himself, really. But he also has this curiosity that's like, this is, what you're doing is really interesting. But also, what about the human element of it? Whereas Victor is very much like, kind of, can I do this? And I'm going to try to do it because I think I can. Henry is just like, well, should you, though? Whereas I don't think Victor ever really asks himself whether or not he should, because he's so caught up in whether or not he can.
I have only been awaiting the proper vessel for which they are to be implanted. And that was just delivered to me here tonight.
Thunder.
The only struggle is the completion of the surgery before the storm reaches its peak. And in this, you can help me.
No, Victor, I will have no part of this.
Think, Henry. Think. To have control of life and death. To remove forever disease from the human form. To ensure eternally the existence of the greatest minds.
Do you aspire then to be a god?
God?
Yes.
The thought had never crossed my mind.
What of the soul, Victor? The body is the keeper of the soul, and death releases it to heaven.
And proctors of this soul would have knowledge disregarded and truth pronounced miracles. Mysteries were made to be solved, my friend. You taught me that. And Henry, I would have to see this soul before I could include it in my studies.
Victor comes with a lot of challenges. One thing, for me, the things that made it the easiest was he's really passionate, and I tend to be a pretty passionate person, and so I'm able to connect with him on that level already, and so then it really leaves in that he takes his passion to a different level of overworking himself and setting aside his family and loved ones and the things that a lot of people kind of thrive upon. I know for me, my family, my friends, the people that I surround myself with in my everyday life, those are the most important things to me, are the people and the relationships that I have. And so that's a big struggle because he prioritizes everything else over top of those relationships, whether it be with Elizabeth or with his father or even with his brother. I mean, I feel like, he's closest with some people in his family or the people that he's the closest with, but he completely ignores them based on his excitement and his passion. And so it's taking that passion to kind of a negative place, where I'm so used to passion being a very positive thing. Being passionate about something is super positive, and it's good to be passionate and have interests and goals and things like that, but he takes it to an unhealthy level.
Wes originally, when we both got asked to come, and Wes was originally here to audition for the creature. He's a large man, so it made sense. he's always been my large friend. And so he comes in, and when he came out after his first reading, and he comes up to me, and I was here to read for Victor, and he comes up to me and he says, "I'm reading for Victor." And I knew, if in that moment, knowing how good Wes is, I was just like, it's going to be one of us. And I'm glad that it was him. I'm glad that since I didn't get Victor, I'm glad that I got to be Henry Clerval. This is in my opinion, this is the absolute best that it could have been. Because Wes and I have been best friends since freshman year of high school, 2003. There's been a chemistry that often will take time to develop, that from the first day of rehearsal, it was just me and Wes working again, like it always was. And we haven't gotten to do this in like 10 years. We haven't really got to significantly act together in over 10 years. And for us to just get to stand up and have the scripts in hand and just start working, and for it to just immediately feel the same as it did those 10 years ago, it's a really special feeling, and I'm really excited and about getting to do this with him. Henry challenges Victor. They challenge each other. That's a thing that they always did. I think they always did in the university. They've always debated. They've all, one being the philosopher, the other being the cold scientist. They've always had these debates, and excuse me. And that's something that's very much real for Wes and myself as well. We've always challenged each other, and we are not afraid to debate and disagree. But our friendship always holds true, and it always has. And so that's a really important thing for Victor and Henry to have together, is that they can challenge each other, but they have a very real love for each other.